This is our prelim. It was our second attempt, as the first one we messed up with the timing. It was too short.
1.
Yeah, I'm really happy I've got an A in my media coursework.
This is our evaluation 7. Looking back on the preliminary task, the continuity editing task, what do you feel you have learned in the progression from it to full product?
So for the prelim task, we had to do a short video that was minimum 30 seconds long, just to show that we could do some continuity editing.
Some of the main rules we had to implement were the 180-degree rule, shot reverse shot, and match and action.
In our first attempt at doing a prelim, we actually filmed it 12 seconds too short, so we had to go and refilm it and do it again. And also in the first one, during the conversation, when it came across in the editing, it came across as really choppy and it didn't match up to how like a fluid conversation would work, so we had to refilm that again.
And what we learned from those mistakes to put into our full product was that we need to record as many shots as possible so we can actually fill the gap in the 2 minutes minimum required to actually make the thriller.
Now we're going to watch our final cut of the actual thriller opening. Quite drastically from the prelim to our final cut of the opening of the thriller. We went for a quite interesting idea, one that was a bit more complex than obviously the prelim task.
Rather than just filming in our school refectory, we used many locations to emphasise the codes and conventions of a thriller film.
As far as props went, the only prop that we used in our prelim task was an iPhone. We didn't really use anything, there wasn't really a storyline to it as much. In the real one, we used things such as torches, costumes, sort of dark clothes, just to portray the characters that we wanted in a better way.
Go.
So in our costumes for the prelim task, we didn't really put much thought into it. We just had the clothes that we had on the day. Whereas when it came to our real one, we thought what we wanted the characters to portray. So obviously the stalker wore big, baggy, dark clothes to sort of portray evil and bad. And then the two victims were also in sort of black leggings and vest tops, the minimal clothing, sort of a bit scuffed up, ripped jeans, stuff like that, to insinuate that they'd been kidnapped.
In our prelim, we didn't use any music, it was simply diegetic sound, whereas in the thriller we used a non-diegetic soundtrack to convey the eeriness of the thriller, linking up with the closing conventions of the thriller.
In our prelim, our editing was a bit choppy and it didn't really flow together as well as it probably could have. But then when it got to the real one, we obviously put more time into editing and it flowed quite smoothly, and we experimented more with sort of CCTV shots and different styles of editing that we could use to portray it in the way that we wanted to.
We used a large amount of shots in the thriller, such as tracking shots and close-ups to convey like emotions that the characters may have been feeling. Whereas in the prelim, we'd only used the set amount of shots that we had to use to actually pass the prelim. Overall, I'd say we're all really happy with how our thriller turned out. We used a wide variety of shots. We had a non-diegetic soundtrack. We did use some diegetic sound, although we found that actual diegetic dialogue could have just come out as a bit forced, which may have moved away from the themes and the mood of the actual thriller itself.